Deludaguna, hi folks again, back again. How do I start this? Our back four, quite rightly so. I criticise them, we criticise them. We know they've been rubbish of late, nowhere near how well they were at the start of the season. And they received their critics, but I do believe the midfielders and the forward players get away with a lot at Arsenal in regards to defending. As you know, for any system to work on a football pitch, any defensive system to work, you have to press from the front, you have to behave as a unit from the forwards to the strikers. Everybody needs to understand and move in sync with each other. Obviously at Arsenal we don't. And the defence deserve their critics, but a lot of the defence, how do I put it, a lot of what the defence get criticism for, better yet, is stuff that could be easily avoided with our midfielders, and midfielders tend to get away with it at this club unless it's glaringly obvious. So let's get into it. Firstly, the biggest one for me is, of course, we like to play out the back. There's nothing wrong with playing out the back. We're a confident side. I do think, especially when it's corners and things like that, our midfielders do not clear their lines quick enough. They dilly-dally in possession. They silly passes to invite pressure onto the defenders before we've even got out. You saw this against Chelsea. Ox has been guilty of it. Even Alexis has been guilty of it. Theo's been doing this for like 3 years in a row now. There's a couple other examples here and there. Ramsey as well from an outright position. Second is not tracking runners, especially the wingers. Ramsey, I think it was against Watford or someone like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did it. Alexis has done it at times. Iwobi's improved, so he used to do it last year. He's improved. What I mean by that is wingers not tracking their fullbacks or their fellow wingers, and they leave our fullbacks isolated. You've seen Bellerin be destroyed when it's 2 versus 1. Monreal's been destroyed. Even guys like Adama Traore, when he wasn't being backed up, he killed him. That sort of stuff. Not covering. What I mean by that is clearly Mustafi and Koscielny love to step out into midfield and show their display their passing ability. But for them to do that, midfielders need to be sensible and drop. Like let's look at it like this. John Terry liked to come out and play from the back, but he had problems playing with a high line. So being the defender John Terry is and the game system they wanted to implement, they could play a high line, but what is going to happen? For Terry to go and do his ball playing stuff, someone is either a midfielder is going to drop or the fullbacks are going to stay. Or somebody's going to stay. There's going to be 3 or 2 players at the back at all times. Arsenal don't do that. We don't do that. It's to say it goes into Mustafi. A previous point I've made. It goes into Mustafi. He likes to get tight. Who drops off for him? It's silly things. I don't feel our midfield engaged well enough with attacking players and wingers and stuff. We're not aggressive in a challenge. We're just happy to leave it to the next person. And that's a big result of why we've been conceding cheap goals and a lot of crossing goals. A lot of goals that have come from out wide could have been eradicated if we just closed people down earlier. Goal against Chelsea, midfielders failing to header it out and clear their lines properly. They went and made it 3-1. Silly mistakes that invite pressure onto our back four. Not clearing our lines is another big one. I think I've said it already, but you get where I'm going. I feel our midfielders in general at Arsenal, of course, it's lovely when we play this intricate Wenger ball stuff, but they're cheating their teammates. They're happy to do that. They're there. They're contributing when it's to do that. But when it's time to do the hard work off the ball, to run for your extra man, to stay disciplined and maybe not join an attack because you know if there's a counter, someone needs to be here to get back and do the dirty work. We're too happy to pass it on to players. And that's why you constantly see when we're countered, there's a massive gap. All our midfielders are up there. And you normally see 2 defenders desperately trying to eradicate whatever error it is. We need to behave like a line. You need to press from the front. You need to stay in sync as a team. Go and look at Bayern Munich. Go and look at Juventus. Even Madrid. Any top side. They defend from the front. They have a shape from the front. The midfielders and the forwards are just as much in fault for defending at Arsenal and in general at any football club. The defence is meant to be the last layer. You're meant to protect them. The defence is never meant to see anything. Never meant to see anything. Of course, I've spoken about it before. It goes into Koscielny to a degree, needing to demand more of his midfielders. But how many times have we seen, let's say, there was an incident, I think it was against Liverpool. Xhaka didn't engage when he could have out wide. Coquelin didn't engage against Chelsea. And they invited them onto our fullbacks. Bayern Munich, you saw that example numerous times. Like, I understand the defence deserve their criticism, but we need to stop letting the midfield get away with it. Let's look at Xhaka. Swansea when he gave it away and Sigurdsson scored. Numerous examples. We give it away cheaply in any way to thrive for Arsenal, we need to respect the dirty aspects of the game. We need to respect defending. Players need to respect defending and have as much appreciation for defending and the dirty art as much as they do when they're going forward, because we don't give the ball away cheaply, rarely when we're going forward, or if we do, someone is fighting to get it back. Players are shouting at each other. I rarely see that with defending. And if we want to win the league, obviously the league's gone this year, but if we have any aspirations of winning the league or any aspirations of improving or saving our season, these are the things that need to happen. For me, again, I've said it already, but for me, the big thing is tracking runners, whether it be from corners or out wide or through the middle, which annoys me. Shouldn't happen through the middle, especially a team like Arsenal with so many midfielders and how compact we stay. How are you letting people run through the middle, people running unmarked? Like, these are professional footballers. You shouldn't be making these sort of errors. You shouldn't be making these sort of errors. And again, it goes back into knowing your players and knowing your fellow teammates. Like I said, look at Chelsea. Look at Chelsea. David Luiz loves to step into midfield and even go up front and do his passing stuff. You see him get carried away. Nothing wrong with that. You need that. Luiz is good. But for Luiz to be able to do that, what do you see? You see either Matic or Kante. They will stay there or occupy his position. One of them will stay. Either one of the fullbacks would stay. On top of that, Chelsea's shape in general, I don't think they've kept a clean sheet at the time of making this. They haven't kept a clean sheet in a while. But you get where I'm going with this. At least they're making some sort of attempt to fill in space and close gaps. Go and look at Barcelona. It's the same. It's the same. Another thing as well, our fullbacks. When our fullbacks pull forward, our centre mids, one of them have to be smart enough. If both of the fullbacks gone and there's two defenders, likely there's going to be one striker on the opposite striker I'm talking about. Granted, it's 2 versus 1. Yes, on paper that's great for defending. But one of your additional players needs to stay back to be able to cover, to be able to deal with any nonsense that happens, to be able to track any runners that come and join a potential counter-attack. And that doesn't happen. Too many players see it, forget about it, and go and do whatever they want to do. And it's quite selfish. You need to be selfless if you want to win a league title or win major honours or go anywhere as a football club. But in short, guys, our midfield needs to improve that aspect. Alluded to, and I'm signing out. Subscribe, follow, share. Thank you for watching again.